Hi everybody, welcome back to Mr. D TV. I'm Mr. D. Today we're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about the you that is not a teacher, the you outside of the classroom. I know for some of us it's hard to imagine that that even exists, but it's so important that I'm going to focus on that, and that's as important to you being a teacher as anything you do to learn stuff in the classroom. Because I've been reading a lot online recently about PLCs, PLNs, and all kinds of things, acronyms like that. And they all pretty much stand for the same thing, personal learning community. And it's sort of a network that you build with people who are like-minded, who you can learn from. The problem is, it's a misnomer. It's not really personal, it's professional. And that's really what it should be called, but that's neither here nor there. So we're going to talk about a real personal learning network and developing that network and community for you to learn how to be a person who's not just a teacher. And there's a really simple reason for this. If you don't have a life outside of teaching, if you don't have passions outside of teaching, you're never going to reach your full potential as a teacher. And eventually, I believe you're going to self-destruct. You're going to break down, and you'll probably end up either losing it in the classroom or just giving up on the classroom because you can't hack it anymore. Why are we doing this? What's your goal? Your goal should be to take all that creativity, all that intelligence, all that passion that you have for your career and put it into something outside the classroom, or many somethings outside the classroom. So it's not difficult to start this, not at all. The first thing is to maybe just sit down and make a list, even if it's a mental list. No pun intended. One idea I saw online, which is really great, was called making 101 goals in 1,001 days. So it's a very big list, but very broke down, a very simple task. 1,001 days is a little bit over 3 years. So it's a concrete amount of time. And I found it very helpful. I actually haven't come up with 101 things yet, but I keep adding to the list, even though I started it quite a few months ago. But it keeps me focused on those little goals. You want to identify things that, not just like experiences, but things you want to accomplish, anything. Things you want to learn how to do that have nothing to do with teaching. So then think about what you need to accomplish those goals. Most of them probably, the things you really want to do probably aren't going to cost an arm and a leg to do. Many of them might be free. So now, when you're thinking about how to get those things, the resources, number one, online. Get on your computer, look up those how-to videos. VideoJug, for example, is a good site. Look for blogs about that very topic that you want to learn about. Start your own blog and document your learning process of whatever it is you're doing. Or the many things that you're doing. You're going to find a lot of like-minded people coming to your site and offering advice and feedback. Find a mentor, online, offline, somebody to teach you whatever you need to be taught or want to be taught. Take classes, and the classes, again, could be very cheap. You don't have to sign up for a new degree to take classes. Community colleges, community centers, libraries, some private companies obviously can offer pretty low-cost classes in any number of things. And then, just like you did in teaching, just like you do in teaching, create a network of support. Friends and family. They could do it with you. Someone who could do it with you, or just encourage you. And then make new friends in whatever it is you're doing, especially if you're taking classes. Reach out to people. And network. You might find new teaching colleagues or new teaching buddies through your non-teaching activities. And then just dive into it. Don't give up and don't quit on it after a little while. The more energy you put into it, you're going to find yourself sort of getting frustrated and angry at yourself for how much you focused only on the classroom and how much you neglected all this stuff you could have been doing outside the classroom. And that's okay. And then you're going to go back to the classroom with a new perspective and be able to make it just a part of your life and not your entire life. And I say this from personal experience. I've been there where teaching was my life. I've now learned that there's life outside of teaching, and it could be good. And as much as I love the classroom, there's so much more out there. And the more you do, the better teacher you're going to be. And that's what it's all about in the end. If you'd like me to talk about something or you have comments about what I've said, email me, teachforever@gmail.com, and I'll see you again next week.